psychoanalyze Bergdahl's actions, psychotherapist Dr. Gina Loudon, and we are delighted to have you with us, Doctor. Let's turn to Bergdahl. He is obviously a man who's been in a highly, I would think, stressful situation over the last 5 years. What do you make of him based on what you know of him?
Well, I really think that this isn't your typical prisoner of war situation, certainly. This man obviously had some real hostility toward the American government and even the American military before he ever left. He was certainly, at best, insensitive to the others in his unit, knowing that they might have to risk their life to come for him, knowing that he was deserting them, and knowing that their families, could be highly impacted by this very irreverent decision that he made to his own platoon. But also, I would say, at worst, perhaps this guy really suffers from a serious case of narcissism, or even worse than that. Somebody who's completely self-obsessed and was thinking only about his own opinions when he made the decision to walk away that fateful day.
What happens to a person who decides suddenly that he no longer cares about the unit he's with, the country in which he's been born and raised? It's just simply lets go of it all in favor of something that obviously he's not familiar with and doesn't understand.
Lou, this is not something that I think developed overnight. They're going to talk a lot about Stockholm Syndrome and some of those things, but I think the evidence is looking like it's going to unfold to say that this is something that had been going on in his mind for a long time. You compare that, for example, to Sergeant Tamarisi, held in a Mexican prison, who has served honorably 2 tours of duty, and there's nothing being done on his behalf. So you look at these 2 men and you hold them up side by side. One's a hero, and one looks to be a defector, Lou, to be honest with you. I don't think these are these anti-American feelings developed once he was already in captivity. It sounds to me like he'd been raised with an anti-colonialist attitude, as Dinesh D'Souza put it, an anti-colonialist attitude, and perhaps that's the reason why psychologically this president could so well identify with this son of someone who obviously is hostile toward America.
And the president hasn't mentioned a word about Sergeant Tamarisi held in a Mexican prison.
Despite the signatures.
Your thoughts on the distinction between the two, in at least Obama's mind?
You know, I will say to you, Lou, I am very, very concerned about the mental stability of this president at this point. Some of his behavior seems irrational to me. It seems beyond that of just a typical narcissistic, arrogant, sort of, I'm a leader of a big country and I feel tyrannical at the moment kind of attitude. It really seems to me like this president is demonstrating behavior that is not only anti-American, but irrational and erratic, and perhaps not exactly what we might want to deem sane. When you look at the father of Bergdahl standing there and praising Allah on our White House lawn, right in front of that president.
We've got a hard out, and I've got to jump in here. Thanks. We're going to come right back. Dr. Gina Loudon, thanks.